One can hear the rumble of the train surging forward, see the torrents of smoke winding through vast engine sheds. This is the painting of today, modern settings beautiful in their scope. This was a quote from renowned novelist Émile Zola after seeing Monet's paintings of Gare Saint-Lazare station at an exhibition. Arrival of the Normandy train, Gare Saint-Lazare, is a painting by Claude Monet, painted in 1877. The painting depicts the arrival of a train at the Gare Saint-Lazare, a busy train station in Paris. Claude Monet was a French Impressionist painter who is considered one of the founders of the movement. He was born on November 14, 1840 in Paris, France, and died on December 5, 1926 in Giverny, France. Monet is known for his beautiful, vibrant paintings of nature, particularly his series of paintings of water lilies and the gardens at Giverny. The scene in Arrival of the Normandy train, Gare Saint-Lazare, is bustling and chaotic, with the train coming to a stop amidst a cloud of steam and smoke, as people and horses move about in the foreground. Monet's signature Impressionist style is on full display in the painting, with loose expressive brush strokes and a focus on capturing the fleeting ephemeral nature of the scene. In the 1870s, the Gare Saint-Lazare, one of Paris's great 19th century train stations, was an especially appropriate subject for Claude Monet. The terminal, which connected Paris and Normandy and fostered Monet's outdoor painting technique in the 1860s, was also the point of departure for towns and villages frequented by the Impressionists to the west and north of Paris. The Gare Saint-Lazare held special significance for Monet because it was just down the railway line from his family's riverside home in Argenteuil. The station marked the point at which Monet entered the very different world of the city full of urban stimulation where his clients and dealers could be found. In 1877, Monet rented an apartment near the Gare Saint-Lazare. He began work on a series of paintings there, inspired by the station's modern glass and iron architecture and the atmosphere of activity and constant change. Monet titled this version Arrival of the Normandy train, emphasizing his desire to depict movement in his painting. The massive black locomotive pulls into the station. As it grinds to a halt against the buffers, clouds of steam emerge from its funnel. The steam created by quick curving dashes of paint appears heavy and gray beneath the station's canopy, but it turns white as it escapes and catches the sunlight outside. A large crowd greets the train. They are simply described by indistinct strokes of dark paint that give the crowd a sense of movement. A central lamppost perfectly aligns with the apex of the building's glass canopy, bifurcating the composition in the same way that the green streetlight does in Caillebott's monumental Paris street, Rainy Day, which Monet would almost certainly have been aware was in progress. Except for these topographical elements, there is no narrative detail in this liminal space. Monet chose to concentrate his attention on the glass and iron train shed, where he discovered an appealing combination of artificial and natural effects, rising steam from locomotives trapped within the structure, and daylight penetrating the large glazed sections of the roof. Monet's depictions of the station marked the beginning of what would become an established pattern for him of painting a specific motif repeatedly in order to capture subtle and temporal atmospheric changes. Using blue and gray strokes, Monet drew the iron grid holding up the glass panels, illustrating the way that the steam was fogging up the glass, even as the sunlight was shining through. The conditions inside the station necessitated drastically different working methods, which may explain why he completed pencil sketches and sketchbooks, which was unusual for Monet, as he devised solutions to the difficulties involved in capturing the station's constant bustle. This painting has a sketch-like, improvisational, and graphic quality within the overall balanced and highly calculated composition. This is especially noticeable when compared to this drawing that Monet sketched. Monet was not sketching out an exact plan for the painting when he created this drawing. Instead, he was actually looking into different options for his painting. Monet finished 8 of his 12 known paintings of the Gare Saint-Lazare in time for the Third Impressionist exhibition in 1877, and they were most likely displayed together in the same gallery. But the series was also his final attempt to deal with urban realities. From this point on in his career, Monet would become mainly a landscape painter,